Today we're going to make a chocolate orange shortbread cookie. It is a soft, tender chocolate shortbread cookie that is flavored with orange zest and orange juice for this beautiful balance of flavors. It's not too sweet, even with the crystallized sugar on top, which is totally optional. It's also really beautiful with a nice orange easy glaze, or even just unadorned. You can cut it out to any shape that you'd like, and it bakes up beautifully every time. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new and delicious recipe. Let's get into it. So, chocolate orange shortbread. It's basically a sablé cookie, so we're going to make it using the creaming method. But first we're going to zest this orange into our sugar. Now, the earlier ahead you do this, the more prominent the orange flavor will be in your cookie, and that's, really wonderful. So usually I will zest my orange into my sugar and let it sit while I kind of scale the rest of my ingredients, get everything else ready, and now we're just going to give it like a little massage, if you will. You kind of want to work that orange into the sugar. It is a lot of orange, so be aware. And that's just going to start pulling out, the sugar's going to start pulling out those oils, and which is really what flavors it. Now, we're going to set that aside. We're going to mix together our dry ingredients. So I've got AP flour here, cocoa powder. It is a substantial amount of cocoa powder. We do want these to be chocolatey. Kosher salt, which not only kind of helps flavor, but it also kind of draws out that chocolate flavor, as well as the orange, pulls everything together. Same with the espresso. The espresso was also going to augment that chocolate flavor, really like bring it. And then we're going to carefully do this. A larger bowl probably would have been a safer bet so that I didn't get cocoa powder all over my counter or me, but we're just going to be patient and smart about it. Into the bowl of our stand mixer, we are going to put butter, which has been tempered because it is warm in here, and then our sugar. Now the orange is going to make it want to stick to the sides because it's going to add a little moisture, so you just want to make sure you get all of that, and then just give it a cream. All right, we're going to add our orange juice. Scrape it down. And now we're gonna add our dry ingredients. Oof. So go ahead and just kind of turn it down to low, and then slowly start to add your dries. It's a lot of dry. It is, it's because it's like a shortbread bready cookie. So it's going to, take a minute to work all of this flour and cocoa powder in. Okay. And just let it go. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. I don't think I need the top sheet on it right now, but I do have it to roll on there just in case. Now, since the dough is super crumbly, just in general, I like to roll it out on parchment, and this will give you a little control. It will also make sure that it doesn't fall apart when you transfer it. This is just for your ease of use. So we're going to roll it out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Again, up to you. You can roll it out to as thick or as thin as you would like. Try and see, you can feel it. You can always feel the dough, and you can generally feel when it is an even thickness. Even when it looks flat, you can kind of feel lumps and bumps in the dough. So feel good about that. Looks good in there. And we are going to go ahead and just pop this on our sheet here, and we're going to chill it. So it needs to chill about 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, you can of course make this ahead of time, overnight, several days in advance, whatever you want to do. Then we'll bake it. We'll cut it and bake it. All right, so our dough has fully chilled. She is ready to be cut. It is much easier to cut this when it is chilled. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna unstick both sides of my dough. like so. And then I will use this as my parchment. We are going to try to do this without flour, but if we need flour, we can go ahead and get flour to cut with. So go ahead and just kind of pop it out. Be aware that it is cold, and so that means that it will actually just kind of crack on you, especially in the corners of the star or whatever shape you're using. Now, you could obviously do any sort of shape that you like. You can also cut these into squares or roll it into a log. Now, you can put these pretty close together. They don't spread. Now, you can re-roll these scraps as many times as you want. So all you do is kind of press it back together and then roll it out again, just like we did before. Chill it, and then proceed. I'm going to pop these back in the fridge just for 1 more minute. In the meantime, I'm going to gather the things I need. So I'm going to need a pastry brush. I'm going to need some egg whites that I've kind of broken apart by whisking, or you can shake it in a container, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just want to kind of break up the white so that it's not stringy or gloppy. And then we're going to need some sort of sanding sugar. So I've got these like crystal sugars that I'm going to use. You could use turbinado, you could use regular granulated sugar, whatever you have, and you could also, use a color if you choose. All right, they are chilled, they're firm, they're happy, and we're going to brush them just lightly with egg white. You could use water if you choose, just something to stick. The egg though, egg white just really, it's an extra firm hold, if you will. Okay, I'm just gonna pick each one up, kind of just do that, and then you're gonna get a nice, beautiful, even coating. Okay, now, before they get any warmer, I'm gonna pop these in the oven to preheat to 325 convection or 325 regs. 350 is a little hot, but you know your oven best. So I'm gonna pop these in. They're probably gonna bake, 6 to 8 minutes. We'll see, it depends. I've never baked this particular size of star before, so we'll see. And they're out. So they baked about 8 minutes until I could see that the sides had set, so they kind of get a little bit more matte and not quite as shiny. It's hard when there's sugar on top or something on top to see when they're done. So you kind of just have to go from the contextual clues from the outside, and maybe just a little bit on time. But you can see that the centers they kind of popped. They crack a little bit, not a lot, and then they look kind of matte rather than shiny. It's time to try. So they cooled completely. They're nice, and they're actually very matte on the bottom. They're actually perfect. They don't really brown that much, so don't look for that. It is hard to see anyways because they're dark. Let's bite into this one. You get that crunch from the sugar on top. The cookie is not too sweet. It's a really beautiful chocolate orange cookie. The orange is very present, and the chocolate is not super bitter. It's just the perfect amount of sweet, especially with the crunch on the top. It has that beautiful kind of sablé or shortbread type texture where it's a little bit more dense, it's a little bit more tender. So good. Orange, chocolate. The best pair.